Welcome back to CBS This Morning. President Biden could see a U.S. intelligence report today on the origins of the coronavirus, which he ordered nearly 90 days ago. Beyond the debate over how the pandemic started is a dispute over where it began. Beijing is waging a campaign to blame the U.S. for the outbreak that was first reported in the Chinese city of Wuhan. Ramy Inocencio has more.
Good morning. Beijing is angry, and criticisms of that U.S. intel report are getting more shrill in these final few days. One attack line is that Washington is making up lies to further support the Wuhan lab leak theory, and pushback is everywhere in China, even physically, with our CBS News team on the ground. COVID's origin is a sensitive topic in China. These men stopped our CBS camera crew from interviewing Wuhan native Zhang Hai last week, putting him under a de facto house arrest and blocking anyone from getting in or out. We last met him in person in January as he dared sue the government. His father died from COVID. He's been told to shut up if journalists came calling. Later, via Zoom, he told us he believes Wuhan is where COVID began. This kind of talk is like treason against Beijing's official narrative, despite the world's first known COVID cases being recorded there.
There is a conspiracy try to pinpoint the origin to China.
Victor Gao is a longtime China foreign affairs commentator.
This virus existed earlier than the outbreak of Wuhan in other parts of the world, including, most logically, in the United States, centering on Fort Detrick.
Few in the U.S. know about the now closed center of the U.S. bioweapons program near Washington, D.C. But in China, Fort Detrick is famous. Even a rap song demands it be investigated. Yang Xiyu at China's Institute of International Studies claims there's proof COVID started outside China.
You cannot say it's impossible from Europe, impossible from the United States.
And the WHO has been barred from returning to Wuhan after their first visit in January, furthering complaints beyond China's borders over lack of access and transparency.
Do you think the World Health Organization should be allowed to go back in?
If the second investigation doesn't provide the evidence about the Wuhan lab, then you will require the third, even the fourth.
In short, no. And the propaganda is working. The WHO is bullying the Chinese people, this person told CBS News in Wuhan. The U.S. is trying to shift blame to China, says another. A third told us the U.S. brought COVID here. During CBS's time in Wuhan, these same vehicles followed our crew all 3 days of filming, the same men sitting in the hotel lobby trying to take photos, knowing not everyone accepts the Communist Party line, like Zhang Hai, a frequent target of China's surveillance campaign. I hope the U.S. investigation will lead to Chinese officials getting punished and families of victims finally finding comfort. But it's unclear when or what the public might see from that coronavirus origin report. Beijing will no doubt attack any criticisms and will likely keep pushing their anywhere but China narrative about where COVID truly began.
That was Ramy Inocencio reporting from China, and keeping his cool as he's being followed around the country trying to report on the origin of this virus.
Pretty creepy when you're in the field like that.
Random people just sitting in the lobby as you're walking in.
All the time.
All the time. Very scary stuff.